The future of the opposition political parties on St. Kitts in the aftermath of the August 5th general elections is very uncertain and depends on a number of factors, reasons political analyst Peter Wickham. For the People's Action Movement, PAM, he believes they need new leadership that can inspire the 57-year-old political party to relevance once again.
Frankly, Andre, I'm looking at the current situation and I cannot see a reasonable path back to victory for the People's Action Movement. I'm seeing a situation in which the People's Action Movement will continue to hemorrhage under this current arrangement. My personal feeling was that the People's Action Movement was in the best place it ever was in the last situation, because there seemed to have been a political maturity that understood not only that they were sharing power now, but there was a reasonable path to PAM leadership coming out of that arrangement. Now, I'm told that that path had been destroyed even before the government was destroyed. I don't know whether that's the case or not, but the point is that certainly if I look back 2 years ago, I could see a path. I could see a path that could have led to Sean Richards becoming Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, and essentially for PAM to be able to say they will restore the leadership of the country to the PAM home at some point in time in the future. Realistically, now, I cannot see how that will happen. The question is, what is PAM's pathway to victory, where it secures the government on its own or alternatively in association with the CCM? Whether or not the CCM's star has also started to pitch is another matter altogether. But for the time being, I'm not really seeing it. I'm seeing a PAM leadership, which is currently under Sean Richards. Sean Richards has not made a significant political statement since the last election. Frankly, I think that Sean Richards is somewhat embarrassed by virtue of the fact that he stood up and he took a position and he was proven to be wrong.
Regarding the People's Labour Party, the PLP, Mr. Wickham believes its future rests on whether its leader, Dr. Timothy Harris, remains at the helm.
So the future of the PLP is very much wrapped up in the future of Dr. Timothy Harris. If Dr. Timothy Harris decides that he's finished with politics, it's going to be difficult to see how the PLP is going to shine beyond that. My feeling is that the PLP can lose a few elections and still survive simply because the expectations for the PLP are relatively low. PLP has been in office once. It won 2 elections. There are very few political parties that could be said to have formed, and within months of forming are in government and also holding the leadership. And that's a pretty distinguished track record. The difference between them and PAM is that PAM has been at it for a long time and isn't really able to produce the success. So my sense is that if the PLP lasts until the next election, if it is able to hold on to the leadership of Dr. Harris, or alternatively change leadership and emerge with someone who is of the same kind of political attraction as Dr. Harris, and hold on to a seat or 2 in the next election, I think it has a future. But I think we need to wait till the next election to see that. If the PLP is able to hold or gain an additional seat in the next election, in a situation where PAM is unable to gain an additional seat or alternatively loses an additional seat, to me it threatens the viability of PAM, and it creates the opportunity either for PAM to implode completely or quickly, or alternatively to negotiate an accommodation with PLP yet again and create the opportunity for one or 2 of them to emerge as a competitor or serious threat to the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party.
The People's Action Movement suffered a heavy loss in the August 5th snap elections, losing 3 of the 4 seats it held for the past 7 years, the largest bloc in the Team Unity government. The People's Labour Party, with 2 seats, ended up with only 1, that of their leader, Dr. Timothy Harris. But the PLP gained more popular votes than the PAM, registering 5,036 votes, 299 more votes than the PAM's 4,737. Both parties had a maximum combined 7 seats in the National Assembly when they formed the Team Unity government, and are now left with only 2 seats. The full interview with Mr. Wickham can be found on the Voice of the Caribbean website, www.voiceofthecaribbean.net, by clicking the Listen to Our Shows on Demand button. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.